With us now is Donna Rotunno, host of the Crime and Justice podcast, a Fox News contributor, criminal defense attorney, and the co-host of the Murder of Charlie Kirk live show on Fox Nation. So great to see you this morning, Donna. First off, just let's get this out of the way. How unusual is it that that Tyler Robinson chose not to testify himself in this preliminary hearing?
Well, it's not unusual at all because remember, Charlie, a preliminary hearing is a very low probable cause standard. It's actually very unusual for defense to put on any evidence at all at a preliminary hearing, much less their own client. So it would have not, we would have all been shocked if Mr. Robinson took the stand.
But obviously the evidence that was presented by the prosecution was massive and overwhelming. I do think it's kind of interesting that defense chose to try to poke holes in the DNA evidence. Even if you took the DNA evidence out, there's a pretty large mountain of evidence here that certainly rises to the level of probable cause.
Oh, no question. I mean, not only is there evidence that rises to the level of probable cause, there's evidence that rises to the level of beyond a reasonable doubt. I mean, you're looking at this. The prosecution really put on a very detailed, strong case here. This is also not necessary at a preliminary hearing, but they really did put on a mountain of evidence. And the defense actually called more than one witness because if you remember, they called witnesses out of order. So they not only tried to attack the DNA, they tried to attack the ballistics. But at the end of the day, these are things that any defense attorney is going to do when these types of issues come up at a trial. So this is not unique. I don't think they help themselves at all, frankly.
Walk us through what you look back at the whole week. Walk us through what you thought was the most overwhelming, potentially insurmountable evidence that the prosecution laid out here.
Well, I think in many ways this case is death by 1,000 cuts. If you look at each individual piece of evidence, you can attack those pieces for a variety of reasons. But when you look at the evidence and the totality of the circumstances, what do you have? You have Tyler Robinson on the scene. You have Tyler Robinson arriving at the scene more than one time. You can show that the figure you believe to be Tyler Robinson is changing clothes. You have him getting on top of that rooftop. You have him assembling a weapon. You have the assembling tool, the screwdriver, found later. You have information from Lance Twiggs that Tyler Robinson was engraving bullets, and what do you find in the weapon? Engraved bullets. You have text messages that talk about the weapon, and what do you find? The weapon. And what's in the weapon? Those bullets that Mr. Twiggs tells you about. You have the DNA evidence. You have the ballistics evidence. You have the digital evidence. I mean, and if you look at each individual piece, you might be able to ask a couple of questions that poke holes. But Charlie, when you look at it in the totality of these pieces of evidence here, I mean, this case is really, truly overwhelming. Is there any aspect of the case that you would say is going to be a bigger challenge for prosecutors to make the case? You know, I don't. I think that what happened this week, and as much as we all complained about the length of this, how long this took, I do think that at the end of the day, the evidence they presented was so strong that for them, they put themselves in a position where hopefully we can put a lot of the conspiracy theories to rest. I think once you look at this evidence, you hear what everybody is saying now outside of the courtroom. I think it really does put together a great case for them. And I also think what it does, and I think some of the things that the defense tried to do here was really more about playing to the media than it was playing to the court. I mean, just putting these things out there and trying to poke a few holes allows people to have this conversation. But at the end of the day, Charlie, this is a slam dunk. Well, with defense trying to play to the media, it's kind of funny considering they also attacked Erica Kirk for her as if she was playing to the media. Because why? She wants all of this evidence to be as public as possible because she wants these questions answered, not just in the court of law, but also for the public. One last thing real quick. The judge is talking about not making a decision until for several more weeks. Is that unusual? And do you think the judge is making a mistake by waiting so long to make a decision, a determination on the probable cause outcome? I do. It is beyond unconscionable, frankly, how long this is taking. Why is he doing it? You know, I have no idea why he's doing it. I think that all he cares about here is making sure that he appears fair, but you can take that too far. I mean, Charlie, I work in a jurisdiction where halfway through this thing, a judge would have taken a gavel, banged it, and said, finding a probable cause, you're done. You know, there was enough here, and he could do that, and he is just allowing both sides to go on and on here. Briefing this? What is the need to brief this? We've had a hearing, make a decision, and let's go.
And it's not a case of where he thinks that maybe some sort of plea deal will be arrived at. If I'm the prosecution, I'm not going to even entertain a plea deal at this point.
100%, I agree with you.
Donna Rotunno, thank you so much. Great to see you.
Thanks, Charlie. You too.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.